This is Loud City Farms, and you're watching Punto The Spot, hottest internet radio show right now.
Yeah, we back.
Yeah.
Punto The Spot, baby.
You know it's crazy. We're back on.
Once again, DJ Marvls with that dope mix.
He really on you today, Marv. He's making sure you fucking...
Gotta make sure the DJ is good, baby.
He wants to hear his name shouted out too, Marv.
That's right.
You ain't the only one.
Zach and Lack,
Yeah,
he want to hear Ape in the Flesh, nigga.
It's all good. I just want to make sure I get Marvin the way he should be. You know what I mean? Pause. Well, you know. Come on.
This shit is crazy.
So everybody coming to El Punto The Spot. We got our guest this week, Enrique Torres.
Yes.
Founder and owner of Loud City Farms, medical marijuana.
Oh, we gonna get high tonight.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to start off and ask, what made you want to get into medical marijuana?
Man, I smoke a lot, bro. I've been in the game.
You can't get high on your own supply.
But
always do
that's where you're wrong.
I break the rules on that one.
That's where you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're here.
Yeah. So, anyways, you know, I've been doing the thing since I was like 15.
Right.
And you know, I was always interested in how the plant grew, how something could just grow in soil and get you so fucked up, you know what I mean? So,
God thought of everything.
So
But this is medical marijuana. Is that what he said?
no, over there in Oregon, I do recreational.
Recreational.
I just wanted to be careful, CJ.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
You don't want to blow him up.
Nah. It's legal.
Where he's doing it is legal.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be careful.
Right? Is that right?
Yes,
Where you at?
yes.
It's not like you got pounds over here or nothing.
Oregon
like that.
has such a...
We talk about that later.
Yeah. No, but Oregon had a situation where they overproduced. Right? There was a moment Oregon was overproducing.
Last year it was a problem. Last year it was so much weed that dispensaries weren't paying nothing. So everybody that grew recreational, you're supposed to sell everything that you grow in your farm. You're supposed to sell to dispensaries. But what a lot of people did last year, because there was so much, they couldn't sell.
Can I ask a question? Because I was told something. Like, you're a dispensary, correct? You produce.
No, I'm the producer. I'm the actual grower.
He's a farm.
You grow it.
I sell
So
to
is there
dispensaries.
okay, perfect. So the grower
The
is there
distribution.
is there a number of how much you could produce? Like you can't
how
just
much you can
produce
sell,
like
you
there's
mean?
they regulate how much you could produce.
Right.
Basically,
And it's very difficult to produce the exact numbers, so that's where the overages come in.
No, not really. What it is over there you could have like basically a tier 1 grow, which would be 20,000 square feet. You could put as many plants as you could in those 20,000 square feet.
Okay.
I have the biggest one, which is the tier 2, which is 40,000, which is a whole acre. You could just, as long as you could fit. I have this year I did almost 800 plants.
800 plants.
800 plants.
How much pounds does that make
I
in a
mean,
year?
It
Because
depends because
Every
you
2 or
got
3 months,
you
right?
got the top colas, which is the actual bud that you really want, which is the top. So you average around like a good 2 to 3 pounds a plant
per plant.
per plant.
For how long though? Like in a year?
A season? Nah, you put your plants down in June, the first week of June, and by October, November, you're already cutting.
I know when to call you now. By October, November. That's
Yeah.
That's great. And how
there's a big market for that now. I think that if anyone wants to get involved, this is the time because more states are being legalized. And if you wait until every state is legalized, you will make no money. Right now is the time to invest in the marijuana business. I am 2 partners with weed.com. Shout out to weed.com.
Yeah.
And they basically we're right now rounding up the first round, so maybe you and I can do some talking after the show and discuss some business.
Okay.
The
And get
plug.
this going. There you go. But yeah, this is the time. I tell everyone, I tell all my investors, if you want to get into the marijuana business, don't wait until everybody's in it already. You do it now because it's such a lucrative business. You make so much money.
Right.
Wheat Maps is pulling in just Wheat Maps, and they're only directory company. They're pulling in $1 million a month. And they're just directoring people. Like they're not even selling the actual product.
Right.
So imagine what you can do from a year from now if you get involved in this business.
Money does grow on trees.
I mean, what
There
I'm
you
saying
go.
is,
Yes, it does.
a lot of people get it twisted, though. A lot of people just
Absolutely.
think that they're gonna go and, I'm just gonna invest all this money and put a plant down. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of things go wrong. A
Right.
lot of things go wrong.
Right.
I went with that same idea.
'Cause it's
I
a
went
cash
over there-
business.
Yeah.
Anything
well,
that's cash.
it gets regulated, though.
Right.
Just
No,
little things
banks
behind it.
no banks.
They
Only
don't want it,
independent
yeah.
banks want to mess with it.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
everybody has the idea, like, let me go over there and become a millionaire. And it's not like that, man.
Right.
I'll tell you right now from
Yeah.
experience, I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'll make a million in a year. I'll become a millionaire. And it wasn't like that, man. Everything that could go wrong,
Went
it
wrong.
happened to me.
Ah.
It happened to me.
But
Wow.
it's okay.
But you learn. But
You
you
learn.
But
So
you
you
learn.
never
It's a
lose.
learning
The
process, yeah.
lesson
Right.
is the reward.
Exactly.
So you learned, and
Yeah.
moving forward, and by a year from now, you'll
Yeah.
be killing it.
Right.
a lot
Don't
of
think
people
like
have
that.
gave up. They grew. It didn't go good for them. They gave up.
Right.
I just, I
You've
have
been
too
out
much
there for a
interest in
minute.
it.
How long you been out there?
That's the
I've been there
difference.
for 3 years.
3 years.
3
He's
years
been
now.
killing
Yeah.
it.
So do you? Another question: do you have fear that the government is going to put regulations on it for all these people that are jumping in? Like she's saying, go now, go now. I
They
believe.
already are.
I know they're going to stop all of those regular Joes,
Yes, that's
and they're
why
going to
you gotta
block.
do it now.
Right.
Yeah,
As a
but they
matter
could
of
still
fact-
block you.
No. Once you're in, I mean, Trump just passed a law where it's getting legalized in so many places. He
Yeah.
fired the district attorney that denied that process, and now it's finally starting
Yeah.
to be available.
Yeah,
in
but
every state.
I'm gonna tell you something about Trump. A majority of these legalized has nothing to do with the president. They're all states,
Everything
right?
to do
So
with-
Yeah, it's
Trump,
all
Trump,
states.
the only thing Trump can ever do to assist it is take the marijuana and take it away from the situation where it's at now, where it's considered it's with cocaine and
Right,
opiates.
right,
It's
right.
right there.
It's considered
Once-
liquor,
The
firearms.
classification.
Right, but once the classification, no,
Yeah.
it's considered a hard drug.
Right.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
Once he moves it, that's the only one who can do it. Once he moves it and makes it regular.
He
then
did
they-
already. He did. He
I-
moved it from, ATF, tobacco firearms.
Alcohol, tobacco,
Now
firearms,
he
right.
added. I think he added the weed to it. I don't know exactly how
Okay,
he.
again,
he
I don't.
did it.
As far as the drugs,
Regulations.
it has to lower. Once it lowers, then from a federal, then it's still up to the state. See, the beautiful thing
Yeah.
about the way this country's made is, at the end of the day, it's up to the governors in the state. So
Right.
the first state who really flipped everything was Colorado.
Right.
Everybody watched Colorado for a long time, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
a year and a half, 2 years in, they were able to pay all their school bills. They were able to. They had
Right.
excess. They had
Right.
money.
Taxes.
Then all of a sudden they went pushed, and the state of Washington pushed. That's why you're up in that channel, California,
I'm
Washington.
in Oregon, yeah.
Right, but you're right up in
Yeah,
that
right
West
up there,
Coast
yeah.
because
Right.
you have up top of you have the state of Washington.
yeah.
Right.
Right.
You're in the middle, and you're sandwiched between California and the state of Washington.
Right.
Right. So that whole West Coast is that Vancouver. You see what they did in Canada, the first country.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
we're not far behind. The problem with the government is, it's kind of like Uber. When Uber came in, they just want to know, what's my cut?
Right.
But you know what?
They haven't figured out what the cut is
Because
yet.
Mob
there's so much
style.
cash.
It's funny
Well,
you
no,
said
this
that.
guy, listen,
Cash is not counted
It's,
for.
it's funny you said that because you see how Uber, how they changed that you can't just now you have to have a certain license for it. Or
that's
something
it in
like
New York.
that. Exactly, but you see the same thing happened in Oregon. Like right now, if you want to buy a property and put a license on it to make what I did a recreational grow, you can't do that no more.
Right, because that's good. I mean, you're in. It's
You
they're
got
They're
in.
regulating
Yeah.
it.
because it's like when
There's
the-
going to be more
it's like the liquor
regulations
licenses,
inside
right?
of
Not
it.
everyone can get a liquor license. It's gonna be,
license.
but how many
Yeah.
fucking liquor stores you don't see, right? Now, if you have a liquor store, you're in business. You're gonna be
Right.
okay.
Right.
So it's gonna be the same thing, right?
Right.
At the
Yeah.
end of the day, is you get in now, then you're gonna have different levels of it. The dispensaries,
Right.
you're gonna have the medical marijuana. You're gonna be able to walk into fucking 7-Eleven and buy some Bubble Kush and a bag of Doritos. That's where the fuck we're
That's
going.
it.
It's that simple. You go to 7-Eleven now and they got CBD gummy bears,
Yes.
That's it.
and they're setting
It's
you up.
on its
Right.
way.
It's on its way
But-
because this is called capitalism.
Yes.
It makes money, and when you mention the cash, the only reason it's a cash business is because you can't put a credit card.
Right.
The minute they do that, it won't be a cash business anymore.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
You're
gonna
gonna
take
come in-
a long
No,
time.
no, it's just a
before
matter
that
of once they
happens.
do that. No, because it's a business like anything else.
Yeah.
They're gonna be able. They're still gonna tax it. It's not. Again, you walking in and using a credit card to buy at a dispensary weed is the best accounting. Once the banks let it in, it's gonna. it doesn't make sense for it to be a cash business because at the end of the day, if you notice, the United States is not even going cash anymore.
Right.
Everything is debit card,
Right.
credit card. You're going Bitcoin.
Right.
So it doesn't even make sense. They're just
Digital
trying to
currency.
figure out the business.
Yeah.
How do we get as much money from,
out of
we
it.
can get.
from the states? Because they can't tax. The state's going to tax you.
Right.
Right.
The feds will come in and tax the state and say, "Hi, what you got for me now?"
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And it's
Mob
just
style.
business. It's just that's what it is. It's just
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And they're gonna
You're-
put
you're in at
regulations
the
on
right
it, just
time.
like
Of
they
course.
did liquor
Of
and
course.
everything. And that's how they'll weed out certain growers or
Yes.
things of that nature. You're gonna have to be buttoned up properly,
Yeah, it's not easy
and you
to
won't
get a
fit
license.
that criteria.
It's not
Actually,
easy to get a
remember when
license.
Randy?
No, it's
when-
not
when-
easy. It's gonna get even
It's
harder,
harder, yeah.
and they're
Listen.
gonna eliminate the ones that got in early.
Right.
Oh yeah,
This
But
is-
Randy,
No,
they
no,
make it,
they
they make it
can't
almost
eliminate.
impossible for you to even grow.
Right.
Like the basically the OLCC is the one that is responsible for all the marijuana stuff, and the county. When I barely came in 3 years ago, they were not even talking to each other. So the OLCC will tell me, oh, you gotta do this to be permitted in your farm to be licensed.
Right.
But then I will go to the county, and the county will tell me you can't do that.
Right.
So I was like stuck in the middle, like, so like what
Sound
do I
like the
do?
Dukes
You
of
know what I mean?
Hazzard.
So it's like when 3 years ago is when they barely started getting the shit together, like.
Yeah.
And right now it was so many of them that they just stopped it. They put a 2-year wait on any new application.
They're trying to figure it out.
Loud City,
All you
baby.
gotta, all you
gonna
gotta
figure
tell
it
them
out.
is that you know Diabla, and they'll
Hey, you gonna have a bunch of cocks running around on your farm.
Pause.
Be careful.
Pause.
I don't know, man. Private property.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
feel the hate. You
Hey.
I feel it. Same. I think this is Halloween. Okay.
Yeah.
Speak on Diablo.
Blame
then.
something.
Name something.
So what's the progression? What's the next steps? Like what do you look
My
forward
next
to doing?
step,
Yeah,
I'm trying to branch out to the east side. I'm trying to
out this way.
Yeah, I already got.
Is
everything
Connecticut
down pat.
legal?
I have no idea.
Jersey's
man.
legal.
I'm trying to still get it myself.
Medical.
Jersey, I think is more
They
into the
just
paperwork.
legalized it. Yeah.
So I'm thinking more looking like in Jersey.
Yes.
Let me
I
ask
think
you a question.
Connecticut. I believe Connecticut is gonna be one of the first,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
bigger
they'll move.
bigger markets.
They'll
I
move.
promise you.
I have a question for you. You were mentioning that you stopped. I don't know if you stopped, but what's the deal with the vape? With the vapes, what's going on with
the
that?
vapes, what's going on with the vapes is that you had all these fake companies, people doing vapes.
Call them out.
Doing it, nah, I don't want to say no names, man.
Chris,
Loud
you always
City
starting-
Farms,
why
the
you
best
starting
organic.
stuff tonight?
And you
It's
got
Halloween.
people, you can make any brand any day, like you just register and that's it, So
Right.
you got people just, getting some cards in China.
Yes.
They buy some distillate, they do their own mix, they put some poison in
Bullshit.
that shit, and then that's why you got all these people that got sick.
They're
Yeah.
dying. No,
So,
they're not just getting sick.
exactly.
They're
People
dying.
a lot of people got
That's
sick.
a
There was
Yes.
like over 20
Young
deaths or something
kids,
like that.
like 17-year-olds
Yeah.
dying.
Lung
of that.
failure.
It
Yeah.
only took
Dropping.
it only
It's
took
insane.
two,
Lung
two
failure,
deaths in Oregon, and they banned it.
Right.
So
It's not banned yet. It should be.
They,
It
no,
sh-
in Oregon they
The
banned
oils,
it.
that's it, no
That's
more
it, I
oils. That's
can't-
what I was saying,
I can't
no
even
more
make
oils.
it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, because we remember I had to
In
join.
Oregon, hold on. You
Yeah.
said in Oregon they stopped it
They
completely.
banned
Two people
it,
died
yeah,
off the
that's it.
oils.
They
The
banned
reason
it.
why is remember I had
Wow.
the joint venture in with the oils, and he started saying, "Now we got to go to pre-rolls because the oils." And
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to discuss it, and I wanted to ask him, and it was that. So imagine that's what they're doing now. So
Yeah.
a lot of the oil business was popping, and it's reducing because now the people who are creating can't
Right,
create it anymore.
right.
Now it's almost black
It's a
market.
scare, right?
Shit, that was one of my best sellers, man.
Yeah.
The oils, the vapes, they were
Yeah.
good,
But is
Damn.
it because I'm a little confused? The vapes are actually a form of caffeine oil, or the actual marijuana?
It's the actual marijuana.
Is the
It's
marijuana
THC.
oil that's killing
Yeah.
people?
No,
Not
It's a
the-
mixture.
The
No, no, no.
vapes?
It's basically when you make
Because
those
I thought
vapes.
it was the caffeine.
Is it vitamin
vapes.
E? I heard it was vitamin E.
They're saying there's a whole bunch of things. I mean, we really don't know what it is.
What you put
but,
in your
know,
mouth, bro?
E, bro.
Pause.
E, chill out.
Put it like this: the only people that know what went inside those carts are the people that are making it.
Right.
Like, we really don't
Right.
know what
Yeah.
went inside those carts. But you got these people that were making organic carts, like us. We were all good, and then you got the other people that were making it. Like
Yeah, well,
that, so
they
just
fuck-
messed it up for
They
everybody.
fucked up the
Right.
business. That's
You know
what I
what
was
I mean?
saying. Cause
So now it's like for Oregon they banned it completely. I think it's for the whole entire year. Cali is looking into like 6 to 8 months to see how they come out with some new regulations and how
Right.
how they do the whole thing
Yeah.
and to see what they could do. But as for now, man, if you find any vape carts, man, be careful with whoever smokes vape carts, man.
Right.
It
for
might
sure.
be fake, you know. You
Yes.
could get sick and shit. So
I wanted to.
I wouldn't recommend it, you know.
I wanted to ask you, at the farm, do you have like tours? Can people come and see?
Here we go with the toys.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys, whenever you guys want to stop by Oregon, man, just give me a
Okay.
call. I'll give you a tour. Yeah,
There's a lot of
definitely.
Mormons out there.
Can we
right?
stay over?
There's a lot of hillbillies
I'll
out
sleep
there,
in the
man.
barn.
It's why we came in tonight.
Racism is
Hey,
big out there in Oregon.
Dinero.
You heard what he said? Y'all not listening. Y'all talking all this.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
He said
You
racism
did
is
White
big
boys
out
is
there.
Yeah,
big
we
out
talked
there.
about that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not on air. Good
I
for
got
you.
I
Good for you.
My
You got
fault,
it.
CG.
Hey,
Dude, it's crazy.
Them
Everybody-
white boys is big out there. They chop
mean,
trees.
If you go to more to the cities, you know, is like Eugene or Portland.
Portland is better.
You
it's
got
better.
you got more of the city vibe.
Yeah.
You got,
Okay.
you know,
I've
I've
been
been to
out there.
Portland.
It's more
I've been to
urban.
Portland.
I've
Yeah,
been
it's
out
very
there.
urban.
I'm all the way in the bottom. I'm like by the woods, so it's like you got more like
Country.
these
Hicks.
God dang, get out of my property type of shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's
Like North
you will get
Carolina.
shot if you trespass anybody's property, no questions
What
asked.
kind of animals out
So-
there? Bears. You got.
You got bobcats. You got.
Okay.
You got
I
Billy's.
Mean, bears I haven't seen.
Billy's
yet, but,
out
you know what I mean? Like,
I wanted to ask you too. What would be your advice to any so-called minorities that want to get into the medical marijuana business or the recreational marijuana business? You know what I mean? Like,
do your homework.
Study the
100%.
business.
Do your homework. Do not go with what everything that Google says. I did that mistake until I got to the state. You know, because Google ain't gonna tell you,
Right,
oh,
right.
get this application and then you're gonna pay this. They don't tell you all that. You gotta actually go with the county.
Right.
So what I would tell anybody that's trying to start up in this business is make sure you get to the right counties and just call the county that controls the marijuana.
Right.
Right.
And just ask them what they need exactly.
Are they
or
like
even take the trip. I mean, it's worth
right?
it. You know what
Are
I
they
mean?
like boards or like city council?
Yeah, yeah.
Or-
There's certain companies that hold that. Like in Oregon, it's called the OLCC, which is it also controls the liquor.
Okay.
So you know they control the liquor and the marijuana. So that's what I did. I went straight everything with them, and
Okay.
you know, they tell you exactly how you have to have your garden. You know, you gotta put the cameras up, and then the state has control over those cameras, so
Right.
they could look at the cameras whenever they want. You know
To
what I
see
mean?
what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you need a partner?
You see?
I already got some partners. Yeah, you know.
You know, I got a lot of partners. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I'm always open for future projects, man.
I remember he hit me up one time like a year ago and said, yo, I got this farm, 5 acres. It was only 250. Or how was it? 300,000 by that property? What was it?
I paid like 270.
Yeah, it was a good.
And
it
I
was a
just
good
bought
deal.
another one for like 250,
Dope,
6 acres. Yeah.
dope.
That's
dope.
what's up.
All right. So
shout out to Loud City
Absolutely.
Farms.
City
Loud
Farms,
City
you already
Go get
know.
yours, man.
yeah, can you give everybody a social media, like, you know?
Yeah,
anything?
go get. I have two social medias on Instagram. I have Loud City Farms, and I have TORREZ_LCF. That's actually my personal page. If you want to get in contact with me, and whenever you want to get
And
some
what's your
products,
address?
go to-
Not just playing.
Yeah. All right. I want to remind everybody to go to El Punto The Spot on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe. Punch the button. You know what I mean? Like all the episodes.
We
Please.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
here all day.
All right. So again, we want to thank Enrique Torres of Loud City Farms
Yeah.
for coming through.
You already know.
Blessing the
Smoke
spot.
till you choke.
Yeah.